So the Donald Trump clown show continues as he's in full panic mode because people are finding out that they're going to have to pay the tariffs. And again, I'll repeat, you, the customer slash consumer, are going to have to pay the tariff. Now, Trump, he's already lashing out at Walmart because Walmart's going to raise prices. Again, you're paying the tariff. And this is what Trump has to say. Walmart should stop trying to blame tariffs as the reason for raising prices throughout the chain. Walmart made billions of dollars last year, far more than expected between Walmart and China. They should, as is said, eat the tariffs and not charge volume customers anything. I'll be watching, and so will your customers. And again, guys, you're going to end up paying the tariff. Now, from Trump's point of view and all of Trump's people, they've been frankly lying to you this whole time, saying, oh, yes, other countries are going to pay the tariffs. Other countries are going to eat the tax. But like, how does that make sense? And Trump, again, worldview, if China were to be paying these tariffs, why is he talking about Walmart? And the whole point is that Trump's a liar. I'm sure you guys know this if you're watching my channel, but I just want you to see the meltdown as Trump states it. If you look at the Elon Musk fan accounts, this is what they're saying. So this is one, again, this is the Elon Musk account, fan account. Gunther Eagleman says, Walmart's trying to play politics on behalf of China, and Trump isn't having it. So again, Trump's having a meltdown over Walmart raising prices, but this is inevitably what's going to happen. Again, you're going to pay the tariffs. If you order something via UPS or various, online stores, you'll get a charge. It's an import tax, right? The tariff. And it'll look something like this. Save time, prepay your fees and taxes. And this person, an example, got a bill for like $371. I've ordered things from other countries. I've paid tariff slash import tax slash duty. I've paid this stuff before. That's how it works. And anyone who tells you differently, be it Trump or any of his buddies, frankly, are lying to you when they say that China's going to pay it. Again, you're going to pay it. Can't be more clear. Trump is also lashing out at Taylor Swift. We talked about this before, but you have to show it because it's like, this is the bizarro world that we live in. Has anyone noticed that since I said I hate Taylor Swift, she's no longer hot? Have you noticed that? Let's listen to an interview Trump did recently talking about China. Let's watch.
Is that deal coming soon? Yeah, that'll come soon. I'm in no rush. Look, everybody wants to make a deal with us.
So South Korea.
South Korea wants to make a deal with
India,
us, everybody. But
Japan.
I'm not going to make deals with everybody. I'm just going to set the limit. I'll make some deals. But
like, what are we talking about here? Like, before he's telling everyone wants to make a deal and he's the best deal maker. Now he's like, I'm not going to make any deals with anyone. I'll just set the limit. And he'll also talk about how he doesn't have time to meet with everyone. It's like, these people talk out both sides of their mouth all the time. And essentially, you got to call this out. Like, these people don't have any real plans. They're totally insane. They are just looking to line their pockets, and they're looking for, any sort of kickbacks or the take, right? That's essentially what Trump is up to. Let's watch some more, and you'll see it for yourself.
And then I'm just because you can't meet with that many people. I've got 150 countries that want to make deals. You have a lot of countries.
The market was really happy with the China situation and the sit down.
They were.
With the Treasury Secretary.
If I didn't do that deal with China, I think China would have broken apart.
Not us, them.
We weren't going to break. We're not going to break. They would have broken apart. Our country has a lot of spirit. And you know why? Because of November 5th. Because our country has spirit again.
The other foreign policy.
So according to Trump, China's going to break apart. And even Brett Baer's like, wait, what are you talking about? Are you really talking about that? And it's like, this is Fox News. It's hard to, talk to the guy because it's insane. And this is honestly the big news of the week, which you talked about yesterday. Moody's recently downgraded the U.S. credit rating. Effectively, we're worried about the economy, and we're worried about Trump deficit spending. Basically, they want to cut Medicaid, they want to cut all of these things, and they also want to cut taxes for wealthy individuals, the billionaire class, that kind of thing. And it basically just throws the whole system out of whack. Trump's math doesn't add up. And if you're curious, just for comparison, how does the U.S. credit rating compare to other countries around the world? I'll put this map up here. You guys can take a look. And if your country's on the map, because we have a lot of people who watch this channel from various countries, you can let me know where you guys are. But yeah, the USA is no longer AAA credit rating. In fact, Canada has a better credit rating. You see Various countries in Europe have better ratings, and Australia has better ratings. So there's that. On top of what else is going on, they basically tell you the truth in ways by revealing sort of what's on their mind whenever these people go on TV. This is one of Trump's people. His name is Hassett. We'll watch to see what he has to say about the trade war.
These deals are all really ready to go. I think there's more than 20, maybe 25 deals that are really very close to ready to go. But
see, the numbers always kind of, bounce around on this stuff. Before I thought we were talking about 18 deals. Now we're talking 20, 25 or whatever. And then before Trump's talking about 150 deals. Then before that, it was 200 deals or whatever. And then Trump says, I don't have time to meet with everybody. Like you guys understand, like they can't even get their lies/stories straight. Let's watch some more though. You'll see.
But in the end, when that happens, it's going to be decided by President Trump, because he always takes every deal and finds a way to make it better. And he almost won't let a deal be done until he gets on the phone and makes it better. He did that with the UK, adding about $1 billion in exports for U.S. farmers right at the last minute. But I would expect in the next couple of weeks, you're going to see so many deals that it'll be clear to every country on earth that we're open for business on these deals and that we're advantaging America. We're putting America first.
There's a couple of problems with the stuff he's saying. So one is that they keep talking about America first, America first. America's going to get the advantage. Like, just think about this. So if you're another country and you're trying to do a business deal with Trump, and basically he's trying to cheat you, whatever deal we do, we got to make sure we get the advantage. Like, that's not really a way to treat your trading partners. Regarding the food thing, that may not be popular in the UK. We talked about this before. It's not just UK. It's many countries around the world. Don't want American food because the standards of American food, the quality of American food, not as high. Doesn't live up to spec as they are in other countries. So if another country is like you guys are adding whatever hormones or chemicals into your food, and we're not going to take that, or your meat is too old, we just don't want to take that, or whatever, right? It's too processed, we don't want to take it, or customers don't want to buy it. Now, to be fair though, and I've mentioned this to guys before. You may not think that you're buying American food when you go to the grocery store, because you go to the grocery store and you say, okay, I consider it's clearly labeled made in USA, I'm not buying it. But if you're in another country and you go to, various fast food chains or, restaurants or whatever, that's when you may encounter eating the American food, or the American food may get into your livestock, meaning it'll be for feed. So I don't want you to think that you can completely avoid it if whatever country you're in is decides to buy some of the American stuff. It may end up coming down the chain, if you guys understand what I'm saying here. But I just want you to listen a little bit of Hassett and just kind of see what they're up to. Let's watch some more.
And when you think about, what is it that we're actually dealing over? What we're dealing over is access for our people, for our workers, to foreign markets, so that we used to not be able to sell almost anything to a lot of the countries that we're dealing with, and now we can. They're open.
So it's really disingenuous, a lot of the stuff that they're saying, right? They act like we don't do business with the other countries and stuff like that. So there's a couple things I want to address here. So one, again, sometimes other countries don't want to take our products for various reasons, be it quality control, be it the products that we produce maybe doesn't match them. We'll just take an example of cars. In America, people like to drive the biggest gas guzzling car possible, right? Because who cares about conservation from some people's point of view? Let's get the biggest turbo, truck, whatever. And you go to other places, the roads are going to be smaller, more narrow. They're not necessarily built for that kind of thing, or people just want more fuel efficient stuff. Or in some situations, the parking spots may not fit that kind of vehicle. So you can't necessarily send every type of American vehicle, to another place. Or maybe the reliability of American vehicles isn't up to par to what you might find in other countries. Just think of it this way. It's been like this for a long time in the USA, and I've said it several times. My general opinion is if you want to buy a pretty solid car, go with Toyota or Honda. I've said that several times. And these days, the Korean manufacturers are also catching up. If you want to go more luxury, you guys know this kind of stuff. I don't explain it to you. Like BMW or Mercedes are pretty nice cars, right? But still, for overall reliability, and even though I live in Korea, like I said, Kia and Hyundai are definitely catching up, and they may be equal at this point. But just from the long-standing history, I would say Honda and Toyota, and I don't work for any of these car companies. I'm just saying those are pretty good cars. I don't think you can go wrong. And when they also talk about, our American products aren't open, or other countries aren't open to American stuff, they always, sort of discount or don't talk about services. Guys, Google's everywhere all around the world. Google Maps, these kind of things, that makes money. It's an American company. They clearly make money. You're watching YouTube, right? That's a Google company, or Alphabet, I should say. Clearly, they're making money. Facebook is all around the world, right? So that they act like it's just our economy is changed. Other things you could talk about as well are financial systems, be it Visa, MasterCard. They certainly make money around the world. You can't tell me that they don't. I understand that from the Trump point of view, they're speaking to a particular audience. They're, promising to bring you back all your factory jobs, et cetera. I get what they're up to. But I just wanted to bring a little bit more fuller picture on this stuff. One thing that's going on also with Trump tariffs is that it is lowering expectations of companies' earnings and ultimately hurt the stock market. This was an interesting chart here, so I'll read it. It says a measure of S&P 500's guidance momentum sinks, right? So what are companies thinking about the future and what's the growth going to be? A lot of companies lately have been pulling their forecast for the future because we just don't know how this tariff war is going to end. I mean, we don't, because Trump changes his mind every single day. He tweets out about Taylor Swift, and he's tweeting out about, hating on Walmart, et cetera. Then he gives these wild interviews, which we'll watch a little bit. Have a listen.
It's pretty amazing what all of them have done.
You have a massive amount of business investment coming back to the U.S.,
Right.
and they're still adding it up
Which,
in
by the
each
way,
country.
most importantly, that's why I came here. I didn't come here to say, gee, you guys are rich and you have a lot of oil. They have a lot of money, and I want them to spend the money in the United States. And we set records. There's never been a trip like this by any president or anybody ever before. And
I laugh because everything he says is just a clown show, right? I'm making the biggest deals of all time. Look at all this money. And I always ask you guys the same questions whenever he says this stuff. Okay, so Trump just made this trip. Are you getting all this money? Do you see it going into your community? Do you see it? That's a simple question, right? And also, too, he's going to talk about just how easy it is to get the money. And my rebuttal would be, it's how easy it is to make pledges. That's what all this stuff ends up being. It's just a pledge, right? A pledge is very different than the money actually being transferred to whatever, accounts in USA. Like, are you getting that money? It's very different than digging up ground and building new factories. So Trump's getting pledges is what he's doing. And again, a pledge is not the quite same as money in the hand. Listen to more what he says out, and you'll see.
how about doubling it up? Okay. Oh, I should have asked for more because they said okay. They're good people, and they love our country. And look, they have great danger because of Iran.
So according to Trump, if he goes to, say, whatever country in the Middle East and says, hey, how about you just double your investment? And they say, oh, okay, great, I'll do that. Oh, that was so easy, right? And you just have to ask yourself logically. And before, I'll just give you an example. He was in Saudi, and they said, okay, we'll pledge 600, I think it was 600 billion. It's actually quite a lot of money. And then he's like, well, can you make it $1 trillion? Oh, okay, we'll make it $1 trillion. We'll pledge $1 trillion. Like, do you guys understand that? And they don't even have that money. I mean, it's all smoke and mirrors. And one of the things that Trump is most interested in, and you'll the more you see all the stuff, and you'll hear insider reports. Basically, Trump is really interested in making a TV show. That's all this stuff is. A TV show. It's a TV reality show. The Apprentice White House edition. He wants to make these big announcements. He wants to have big parades with the military. I think it's going to cost like $50 million or something of that nature. He wants to have that military parade in D.C. And he just wants to sort of, I'm not sure where to say it, live the TV president life, right? And it's, again, all the stuff is smoke and mirrors. He's made several broken promises the same way that Mexico was going to pay for the wall. You guys remember that nonsense? And then he kept saying, oh yeah, China's going to pay the tariffs. And now he's angry when basically Walmart's raising prices because you're going to end up paying. And he doesn't want people to find out the truth. So that's what's going on. I'd like to hear your thoughts. And I'll catch you on the next video.